What I'm learning living in the Irish countryside. I recently bought a new dressing table for the bedroom, and my sister commented on how when she was buying her house in 2007, while everything was crazy and right before the global financial crisis, she was looking for a dressing table in a furniture shop. The shop assistant, a woman, told her the modern woman doesn't have time to sit down at a dressing table in the morning, so we sell chest of drawers instead, because it's more efficient for the modern woman. That. We've learned a lot since then. We know how that turned out. I could talk all day about what I've learned since moving home to live in the country from the city at the beginning of the global health crisis in 2020. There seem to be a lot of global crises going on, don't there? Everything seems to be cyclical. It seems like so much is cyclical. Not just seasons and nature, but our behaviour on this planet too. Everything is born and dies and is reborn new. Every season we see that right in front of our eyes. But yet so much seems to have happened already. Real newness, in fact, seems somewhat rare. The things I was sold as a young one and told to do or to get to make me happy isn't necessarily what makes me happy. Sometimes I rant that I was told a lie. Maybe I'm being dramatic. I feel these days that the modern ways that have been established carefully over the last few decades or generations seem to me to be somewhat dying. And it also seems to me that there's a lot of grasping going on to keep things in place. I sometimes wonder if that's because it serves the purpose of continuing to produce stuff to sell and encourages people to continue to buy. When I look at things that are going on now, like the Great Resignation and quiet quitting, which, by the way, I think is a very interesting term, in that if someone turns up every day, does exactly what's asked of them, and that they're being paid for, but doesn't go above and beyond that, isn't it really interesting that the message we're being sold is that that's not enough? When I look at the Great Resignation and quiet quitting and concerted efforts towards things like slowing down and things like off-grid living and scaling down and permaculture and real sustainable living, I do wonder if modern culture is somewhat dying. What we know, I suppose, has yet to be replaced with something new, and how new will allow that to become, only time, I suppose, will tell. But it seems, to me anyway, that modern isn't working so well for a lot of people in a lot of ways. We're stressed, we're sick, we're broke, we're overwhelmed, and we're disconnected. We're disconnected from ourselves and from others and from nature, and we're fighting. Mostly, I've learned, I think, that community may be the most important thing of all. By community, I mean community, your relationship with yourself, with others, whether that be family or friends or relations or neighbours or co-workers, local suppliers, even our own history or our own herstory, and the ancestors and the lineage that went before us, with nature, living animals and plants and systems, with your neighbourhood, country, continent, and our planet of residence, and with spirit and with non-physical. I've learned that community matters. I've learned that how we view community and what we do to nurture it, and what we let go in order to prioritise it, matters maybe most of all. Because it's the thing, I think, that provides a sense of belonging. And a sense of belonging, when modelled around us, helps us to anchor into a sense of belonging within us. And when you feel like you belong, things like meaning and purpose, they become so much more organic. They're less urgent and more obvious as they have the space to, and the time, I suppose, to grow and evolve and become something recognisable and finally actionable. If you want to hear more of my thoughts about following nature's rhythms here in the Irish countryside, click here. Thank you for your precious time and attention.